Hey Wildcats, I'm Lisa Lane, and alongside me is my co-anchor, Alex Budish. You're watching Cat Nation.
Tonight we're going to take a look at a fierce UCLA team, as well as break down where your Arizona Wildcats stand as of tonight.
And Alex, don't forget, one of our starting Wildcats is turning 21 tonight, so we're going to reveal exactly who that player is a little later on in the show.
Kick it, push it, dunk it, shoot it. We rep the ZonaZoo, we wear the red and blue. Guard it, steal it, alley-oop it. We rep the ZonaZoo, we wear the red and blue. U of A, it's time to own it. We rep the ZonaZoo, we wear the red and blue.
Well, Alex, I say we kick off the show discussing where both teams stand in tonight's matchup. I'll talk a little bit about UCLA. They're 13-6 and 5-2 in Pac-10 play. They're coming off a 4-game winning streak where they just beat Stanford after coming back from a 14-point deficit. Despite this team being young with no seniors, they come out each week fierce and ready to battle that opponent, much like our Arizona team. So, Alex, before we move on to some key players, why don't you tell us where Arizona stands coming into tonight's matchup?
Good point. Arizona comes in on this game 16-4 overall with a 5-2 record in Pac-10 play, in a deadlock heat for second with UCLA. That's why this game is so huge, Cats. The Wildcats need to come out and prove why they are one of the best teams still in the Pac-10 and really dominate a good UCLA team. Speaking of the Bruins, why don't you tell me about their leader, Tyler Honeycutt?
Well, Honeycutt's only a sophomore, but he's leading the team in points and rebounds. He is 6'8", so it's no surprise he's a huge factor out on the hardwood. As of now, he averages 13.5 points and 7.7 rebounds, so he's a threat every time he gets a hold of the ball. He also has 26 blocks and 15 steals, so he's putting up huge numbers all across the board. He did suffer a sprained shoulder in late December, but in current play, you don't see that shoulder bothering him very much. But Alex, he's not the only 6'8" sophomore impacting this UCLA team, so why don't you tell us a little bit about Reeves Nelson?
Well, Lisa, Reeves Nelson is kind of a do-it-all player for the UCLA Bruins, an undersized 6'8" forward, kind of like a Kurt Rambis-type player. He is the motivator for the UCLA Bruins. Expect him to be out on the court all night, trying to get in the heads of the Wildcats and motivating his team. He's putting up almost 14 points a game and 8 boards, but like I said, it's that motivation factor that's really getting into the heads of the teams he plays.
Well, Alex, there's 2 more UCLA players I don't want to forget, and that's the junior forwards, Malcolm Lee and Lazarick Jones. Lee's been putting up some huge numbers as well, averaging 12.2 points a game, and he had a huge game against Stanford with 23 points. Jones, on the other hand, averages 11.2 points a game, and he had a career-high 24 points against Cal. So obviously, UCLA's young, but they have some players who can go out there and mix things up and score for the UCLA team. But now let's move on to our Arizona Wildcats. Alex, why don't you talk a little bit about some of our key players coming off the bench?
I think it's important to note the players that really make a difference coming off that bench. And like we said earlier in the shows, Miller uses an 11-deep bench, and that is impressive for any young team in any part of the country. But 2 players that we really need to highlight, Kevin Parham, first of all. He's kind of an on and off starter, but we're going to name him as a bench player for the most part. The guy can put up huge numbers anywhere on the game, and he's really developed his 3-point shot. The biggest player that we need to talk about right now is the backup point guard, Jordan Mays. Jordan has really stepped up and done a lot of work. He needs to improve his free throw shooting a little bit, but all in all, he knows how to control the ball and get the shot when he needs to. Also, everyone on this team is really contributing to our big player, Derek Williams, feeding the ball into him, and he's creating outside shots for the guards. All in all, the deep bench that we have is really creating a big force for the Arizona Wildcats.
Alex, I couldn't agree more with you, and there's another player that I think all the Wildcat fans have been really excited about, and that's Jesse Perry. Well, our very own Maddie Rundon has all the scoop on Jesse Perry. Maddie?
Thanks, Alex and Lisa. Well, these days, it's not just Jesse Perry's hair that's garnering him so much attention from these Arizona fans. The sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri has been making clutch plays in close games for the surging Wildcats. After transferring from John A. Logan Community College in Illinois, where he was the Great Rivers Athletic Conference Player of the Year, Perry quickly established himself as a force coming off the bench for this Arizona squad. He has had some key performances of late. In his first career start against Robert Morris, Perry scored a massive 16 points and grabbed 4 rebounds. He was also a key component in the win over rival ASU, where he scored 13 points. With a pivotal stretch in the season coming up, the Cats will be looking for continued production from Perry, which he will more than likely provide. Back to you, Alex and Lisa.
Thanks for that, Maddie. I really do want to see a huge game from Perry tonight. It's always important for our bench to be able to step up and deliver for the starters and take some of that pressure off of them when they're out there. But before we conclude tonight's show, I do also want to mention Derek Williams had a huge game against Washington State, putting up 19 boards and contributing 17 points. So like every week, we really want to see Williams be the big guy and step up and be a go-to guy for our Wildcats.
Exactly. Also, we need to give a quick shout out to Jamel Horn, who hit some huge shots for the Wildcats in the Washington State game when the Cougars were attempting to claw their way back into it. Jamel Horn, the senior leadership, keeping the Wildcats afloat when they needed it most. It's that deep bench. We've said it all year for the Wildcats. It's their biggest advantage. Look forward tonight. But most importantly, Lisa, I think everyone wants to know who's turning 21 for the Wildcats.
Of course, we did not forget. Well, ironically, it's our number 21, Kyle Fogg, who's turning 21 tonight. I don't think there's going to be any better birthday gift for him than a win against UCLA, so I hope his team can pitch in and deliver this one for him. But on behalf of the ZonaZoo, we put together a little highlight reel of Kyle Fogg, so I say we check it out.
Here we go.
Go, 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 shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. Go, shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday.
Awesome highlight reel. And again, happy birthday, Kyle Fogg. Let's hope we get a good win for you on your birthday tonight.
I agree. Well, the game clock is ticking down, so we have to conclude tonight's episode of Cat Nation. So for Cat Nation, I'm Lisa Lane.
And I'm Alex. ZonaZoo, Bruin Den. Is it even a question? Budish saying bear down, and we'll see you at the game.